Hello and welcome to Sports Buzz. India is set to host the first ever Kho Kho World Cup 2025 at the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium in New Delhi from January 13 to 19. In the men's section, there are 20 teams, while 19 will compete in the women's category. To tell us more about this mega event, we have Sudhanshu Mittal, President of the Kho Kho Federation of India. Sir, thanks for talking to the Federal. Welcome to Sports Buzz.
Thank you so much and grateful for having invited me for this program.
Sir, my first question would be, this is an historic event, sir. So how are the preparations going on? Just few days, couple of days left.
My heartbeat is pounding so fast and so loud. It's like a daughter's wedding. When the day is just approaching, say 3 days back, you can understand how it feels. But the preparations are absolutely on time and on a grand scale, on a scale which will be a source of envy for others. We've left no stone unturned to make this a real mega event. The sheer participation itself speaks volumes. Having 23 countries from all over the globe is an achievement for a game like Kho Kho. So while on one hand you have US, on the other hand you have Argentina, Brazil, Peru, South Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Ghana. Then we have Germany, Holland, Poland, England, Australia, New Zealand, Korea, Malaysia, Indonesia, Iran. Pakistan was supposed to be here, but the visas has still not been received. Then Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, and of course we are there. So 23 countries and 20 countries in the men's section and 19 countries in the women's section. All from all across the globe. This, I think, is a testimony of the acceptance of this game at a global level. And that certainly makes us proud.
Sir, you just mentioned about Pakistan visa being delayed. Do we expect them to come and participate, or is it too late now, sir?
I really would not. I would cross my fingers. I'm an optimist. Let us see what happens.
Sir, what does it mean for India? Like Kho Kho is an Indian sport and you're made it truly global now, going for the World Cup. So what does this mean to India, sir?
I think it's a great accomplishment for India. Bharat, I would say, because we've named the team Team Bharat. I say this because, Kho Kho is a mass sport, which was a demo sport in 1936 Berlin Olympics.
Right,
That's the kind of history it has. But over the period of time, probably it lost its sheen because of cricket and other sports, which India has imported from all over the world. Our own sport, Kho Kho, somewhere was getting lost. So the journey from mitti to mat and now all across the globe is a very fascinating journey. And I think as Indians, we are very proud of this. Because when I mentioned all these countries, we are today present in 55 countries and aspire to be in 90 countries by the end of this year. Okay. Now, when I talk about this, the most critical element is that this game is being played by the natives of those countries and not the Indian diaspora settled in those countries. And the acceptance of this game because of its speed, agility, reflexes, stamina, strategy is been phenomenal. It has a very unique advantage of not being a sport where money is required to play. Right. There's no equipment. There is no boundaries of infrastructure. You can play it anywhere and everywhere. So that is what has found acceptance in all these countries I have been talking about. And it's already touching international arenas. The Commonwealth Games Federation has already had a look at this and probably will be getting their approval for hosting the Commonwealth Games in India. And then Olympic Council of Asia has already recognized this as a game, as a sport in Asia. Our
Right.
endeavor is 2030, let's be in Asian Games, and 2032, let's be there in Olympics. And I'm
Right.
sure, given the love and affection of the countrymen, we'll be able to achieve this goal.
Sir, you mentioned about from mitti to mat. Could you tell our viewers like what are the tweaks or what are the rules that make this World Cup exciting, sir, so that they come and watch there at the stadium?
It's a very interesting story. The first endeavor was to globalize this game, modernize this game, let it compete with any other international game in its sheer spectators experience. That was a very prime mover behind all the changes which have taken place. The mat itself was a great challenge because Kho Kho has a very peculiar uh, characteristic. On one end, when the players are diving, you see these skydives going all over, and these players landing on their chest or on their shoulders. You need a surface which can absorb the impact. Yet it should not be soft enough to be an impediment for the speed. So the mixing of the two, the right balance, took a lot of time. But I'm happy that we were able to develop these surfaces here in India itself. We didn't have to import anything from anywhere. Now, after having done so, we used sports sciences extensively, the physiology, psychology, and nutrition to make champions out of these raw players. Today they excel in their physical attributes. They have the best diet combinations, looking at their biochemical composition of their bodies. And sports psychology has given them confidence, given them calm, made them competition ready. So this has really elevated the standard of the game from where it started to where it is today. Uh, Again, when we looked at promoting this game globally, it was very critical that how it will appear on the television. So the first thing we did was get it shot on television and see where are the deficiencies. Then we discovered that the court needed to be reduced, the court size, because the frame of the television would be able to capture better imagery if the size was reduced. So we did that. And in the process, instead of 9 players chasing the defender, we now have 7 players chasing the defenders. Secondly, the number of fouls which were there in the game earlier, we've reduced them because the spectators would become disinterested the moment there would be a foul at
Right.
every, say, 20 seconds or 30 seconds. We reduce the time of each innings from 9 minutes to 7 minutes to make it very crisp, very entertaining, very, very action oriented, action filled. Then we introduced a concept called Wazir. Now, Wazir is a very interesting concept. The chaser always has to commit himself to a particular direction when he's chasing the defender. Wazir, on the contrary, has the liberty of going either way. So it's easier for a Wazir to catch or to touch a player and have him out than a regular player. So this has really created a lot of buzz and excitement. In addition, you know, it's the defender requires tremendous stamina and speed because he's being chased and he's continuously running. Imagine a 100-meter sprinter. If he's required to run for 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes, what will be his condition? He'll be completely fagged out.
Right. Right.
Now, if a player survives on the court for 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes, then we've introduced the concept of a dream run. So he earns an extra point. So a lot of innovation has happened. The look and feel, is got all the sheen which any international sport would have. So all that has made it truly global, truly international, and has created the acceptance by masses all across the world.
Sir, when you talk about acceptance, I've seen videos of including celebrities, including batting legend Sachin Tendulkar, wishing good luck. And
Absolutely.
how will this promote the sports, sir, as a whole, not only in India and globally? And what is the feedback you have received from them, sir?
See, firstly, from the point of view of Bharat, we position this game as Bharat ka apna khel, our own game. You know, as
Right,
I said, we've been playing games from all over the world, but this is one game which has transcended all international boundaries. You know, Narendra Bhai in his Man Ki Baat had very often repeated that there should come a day when our games are played globally. And probably that was the inspiration which led us to undertake this endeavor. I would say we were audacious in attempting to do it and touch wood. Because of the goodwill and because of the wishes of the entire country, we've been able to take it so far. Uh, you know, quite essentially, because as I said, this was a game which required no investment, no equipment, no money. It was played and played all across. So be it the villages, be it the towns, be it the mohallas, be it the gullies, be it the juggies, be it dhanis, chowkis, whatever. You know, you would. I have talked to people. The moment I mention Kho Kho, they say, "Humne bhi khela hai." And there's a glint
right.
in the eye. I'm sure you would have also played Kho Kho at some point or the
Yeah,
other.
yeah, sir. Yeah,
See,
yeah, yeah.
see, that's it. That's it. It's our game because we all have played it. It's a mass sport. It's not a sport which is an elitist sport or played by few. It is a mass sport. And this sport today has regained its glory. You know, one thing which really helped us, which again I will attribute this to the government, was opening of the job opportunities. You know, more than 3,000 Kho Kho players have till now got government jobs because of their accomplishments in Kho Kho. Because the government permitted Kho Kho as part of the sports quota games. After that, the vistas have opened. New dreams are born. Today, everybody sees a future. The ultimate Kho Kho, the league we promoted, has
Right,
had 2 seasons and it created stars. So now you have Kho Kho players being taking autographed off. You have them being clicked for their selfies. So this has inspired a whole generation of new youngsters who now look up to Kho Kho with a lot of aspiration. And I think this cumulative effect of its acceptance has created a world of a difference. So we have Sachinji, you know, take Salman Khan or take Tiger Shroff. They have volunteered to be brand ambassadors to promote this game without charging a penny. I mean,
right.
that's the kind of goodwill every section of the society has shown because they all identify with Kho Kho as Bharat ka apna khel.
Right, right. Sir, last couple of questions, sir. There are so many teams, and this being Bharat ka Khel, do you expect India to win both gold medals in men and women?
I,
Are they favorites?
as the president of the International Kho Kho Federation, I should not be expressing any bias. But as president of the Kho Kho Federation of India, I can assure you, I see both the trophies being won by the Indian women and the men's team. One more thing I would love to mention that we have been completely non-discriminatory when it comes to gender equality. The two teams we deliberately have the men's World Cup and the women's World Cup. So it's for both men and women. Then
Right, right.
it's got common facility, accommodation, food, opportunity, whatever it is, it's equal for all of them. And I think that itself has been a great accomplishment.
Sir, one final question, sir. What is the way forward, sir? How do you take this World Cup? Like, how will it be held? Will it be 4 years once or 2 years once? What is the way forward, sir?
You know, there every 2 years there's going to be a world event. So the World Cup would be a 4 year event. There's going to be a 4 year event of World Championship. So every 2 years either there's a World Cup or a World Championship. World Championship is a more open event. In the World Cup, there is a limitation of the number of teams which can participate because every continent has a quota. So, in spite of there being entries from 36 countries, we could only take 23, actually 24, but Pakistan not there, because we had to reduce the number of entries looking at the quotas of each continent. World Championship is a more open format. So every 2 years, there's going to be an international event where players across the globe will be competing against each other. Then we have the Asian Championship, which again would be interspread between the World Cup and the World Championship. So there's going to be a European Cup, there's going to be an African Cup. So there's a lot of activity which is going to go global after this World Cup is over.